Welcome back to the channel. On June 2, 2026, iHeartRadio did something that deserves to be understood not simply as a music festival announcement but as a cultural statement. A statement about where popular music currently stands, who its most significant voices are in this specific moment, and what the American music industry looks like when it stops pretending that the most important things happening in global pop are still happening exclusively in English. The statement came in the form of a lineup announcement. And the lineup they announced for the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival is one of the most remarkable collections of artists assembled under a single event banner in recent memory. The 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One is set to bring another unforgettable weekend of music to Las Vegas, with a star-studded lineup taking over T-Mobile Arena on September 18th and 19th. The lineup includes BTS, Benson Boone, Cardi B, Goo Goo Dolls, Kenny Chesney, Lainey Wilson, Major Lazer, Muse, Snoop Dogg, Weezer and Zara Larsson, with more to be announced. Read that list with the full attention it deserves. BTS, the group that has become the defining K-pop act of the modern era and whose return from military service has produced one of the most commercially and culturally significant comebacks in the history of popular music. Cardi B, one of the most successful and most commercially dominant female rappers in the history of hip-hop, whose cultural presence extends far beyond music into fashion, media, and every conversation about who is defining the sound and the identity of contemporary popular culture in America. Snoop Dogg, a figure whose three-decade career in hip-hop makes him not just an artist but an institution, a cultural landmark whose name is synonymous with a specific era of American music that has influenced virtually every genre that came after it. Kenny Chesney, one of the best-selling country artists of all time, whose stadium tours are among the most consistently successful live events in American music. Lainey Wilson, the reigning voice of new country, the artist who has become the defining figure of her genre's current era in a way that has produced both commercial dominance and critical respect. Benson Boone, the young pop breakthrough artist whose global streaming numbers make him one of the most listened to new voices in contemporary popular music. Muse, the British rock institution whose influence spans generations of rock fans across multiple continents and whose albums have consistently redefined what ambitious rock music is capable of. Weezer, one of the most beloved and enduring alternative rock bands in American history, whose catalog connects multiple generations of music listeners. Major Lazer, the global electronic project co-created by Diplo, who happens to be the producer who described his collaboration with BTS on Arirang as the biggest project of his 30-year career. Zara Larsson, the Swedish pop star whose global streaming figures place her among the most listened to artists in contemporary European pop. And more to be announced. BTS, Cardi B, and Lainey Wilson are set to play the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival, which will take place this September in Las Vegas. The two-day blowout features a packed lineup from artists across the worlds of pop, rap, country, rock, and EDM. The phrase packed lineup from artists across the worlds of pop, rap, country, rock, and EDM is standard iHeartRadio language for what this festival is and has always been. iHeartMedia is the largest audio media company in America, operating radio stations across every format: contemporary hit radio, country, hip-hop and R&B, rock, alternative, dance, and more. Their annual festival is not a genre event. It is not a pop festival or a hip-hop festival or a country festival. It is the most genuinely cross-genre music event in the American entertainment calendar, a two-day showcase that represents the full breadth of what American radio plays and what American audiences are listening to across every format simultaneously. And in 2026, BTS and Jimin are headlining that event. Not as guests. Not as a special international segment. As headliners, listed first in the lineup announcement, positioned at the top of a bill that includes some of the most significant names in every major American music format. For the people who have been watching Jimin's trajectory in 2026 with any degree of attention, this announcement lands as confirmation of something that has been becoming increasingly clear through the accumulated evidence of a remarkable year. We are watching the normalization of Jimin's presence in American mainstream cultural spaces, a process that has been happening incrementally across each of the year's major events, each new platform and each new recognition building on the ones before it until the picture they collectively create is impossible to dismiss. The AMA Artist of the Year win. The AMA Best Male K-Pop Artist win. The iHeartRadio Festival headlining. These are not K-pop achievements. These are American popular music industry recognitions. They are the industry saying, in the language it uses to say important things, this person belongs here. iHeartMedia Chief Programming Officer Tom Pullman and President of Entertainment Enterprises John Sykes said in a joint statement, "The iHeartRadio Music Festival is all about bringing together the biggest artists across every genre for 2 unforgettable nights, and this year's lineup truly reflects the incredible diversity of music today. From global superstars to fan-favorite icons, we're excited to once again deliver an unmatched live and streaming experience that reaches millions of fans everywhere." Global superstars to fan-favorite icons. Both categories. And the decision about which one BTS and Jimin represent is not ambiguous. Global superstars. Not regional stars who have achieved some crossover visibility. Not a K-pop act that has developed a dedicated American niche audience. Global superstars, in the same sentence with the same designation as Cardi B and Snoop Dogg, by the 2 most senior programming executives at the largest audio media company in the United States. The iHeartRadio Music Festival has a specific institutional history and a specific institutional vocabulary for describing what it is and what it represents. Now in its 16th year, the annual iHeartRadio Music Festival is a 2-day music festival in Las Vegas that features today's biggest names across genres and formats. Hosted at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas each September, the festival features 2 nights of non-stop chart-topping hits, musical world premieres, and never-before-seen collaborations from the world's most iconic and hottest artists. Home to artists from McCartney to Mary J. Blige, Drake to Deadmau5, and Timberlake to Taylor, the iHeartRadio Music Festival stage is the biggest multi-genre music event anywhere. McCartney to Mary J. Blige. Drake to Deadmau5. Timberlake to Taylor. These are the benchmarks that iHeartRadio itself uses when it wants to communicate the scale of what its festival represents, the specific category of artist whose presence at the event is not just commercially significant but culturally defining. These are the names the institution reaches for to describe what it means to perform on their stage. And Jimin and BTS are now in that company. Not in a future tense aspirational sense. In the present tense, announced and confirmed, headlining sense. They are on the same list as the artists who belong in the same sentence as Paul McCartney. BTS's return from military hiatus adds genuine global draw to the festival, according to industry analysts. The lineup spans CHR, country, hip-hop, rock, and dance, which is a direct reflection of iHeart's full station portfolio. Genuine global draw. That phrase from a media industry analyst writing about the commercial and programming logic of the lineup selection is the most precise possible description of what BTS and specifically Jimin brings to this event. Not just pop draw. Not just K-pop draw. Global draw. The specific and documentable quality of having an audience that is not bounded by genre or language or geographic market, that exists across every format and every demographic and every region simultaneously, and that will show up for this event in ways that no single genre artist can replicate regardless of how dominant they are within their specific market. The convergence of Jimin and Major Lazer in this lineup deserves special attention, because it is not a random pairing of unrelated acts. Major Lazer was co-founded and co-created by Diplo, who in February 2026, standing at the Fanatics Super Bowl party with a camera pointed at him, said without any particular incentive to be effusive that his collaboration with BTS on Ararang was going to be the biggest thing he had ever done in 30 years of making music. He said Ararang would shock the world and be the craziest album ever. And then the album was released and the world tour began and the chart positions accumulated and the AMA wins came and the FIFA World Cup final booking was confirmed, and now iHeartRadio is putting Jimin and Diplo's own Major Lazer on the same festival stage on the same night in Las Vegas in September. Whatever collaboration possibilities exist in that specific combination, and the history of the iHeartRadio Festival strongly suggests that the organizers are aware of and interested in those possibilities. They represent something genuinely exciting for anyone who has been following the story of how Jimin and BTS have been building their American presence in 2026. With BTS joining the event, tickets are anticipated to be in high demand. Throughout the festival weekend, organizers have promised VIP packages, exclusive fan experiences, and behind-the-scenes video. Over the years, the event has become known for unexpected collaborations and once-in-a-lifetime performances, making it one of the most anticipated music gatherings on the entertainment calendar. Unexpected collaborations and once-in-a-lifetime performances. That is the promise of iHeartRadio's specific event format. And the specific lineup assembled for 2026, with BTS and Jimin alongside Cardi B and Snoop Dogg and Major Lazer and Benson Boone and Weezer and Muse and every other name in that extraordinary roster, is a lineup that has been assembled with enough creative intelligence and enough awareness of the creative possibilities between these specific acts that the unexpected collaborations it will produce are genuinely unpredictable and genuinely exciting to anticipate. Nobody knows what happens when Jimin and Cardi B are in the same building on the same night with cameras rolling and the tradition of the festival calling for something that nobody has seen before. Nobody knows what Major Lazer and BTS produce when Diplo's project and the group he called his biggest collaboration are occupying the same stage. That unknowability is itself a kind of value. It is the specific promise of what live music at this scale can be when the lineup is assembled with genuine creative vision. Hosted by Ryan Seacrest, the epic two-night event will once again bring fans unforgettable performances, special collaborations, and more. Whether you're in the crowded T-Mobile Arena or watching from home, there are plenty of ways to catch the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Fans can tune in live on iHeartRadio stations nationwide or stream every performance on Disney Plus and Hulu, giving subscribers front-row access from the comfort of their homes. Disney Plus and Hulu. The streaming accessibility of this event is significant for understanding the scale of what the BTS and Jimin inclusion means in terms of audience reach. These are not niche platforms. These are two of the largest streaming services in the world, with combined subscriber bases that reach hundreds of millions of viewers globally. When the iHeartRadio Music Festival streams on Disney Plus and Hulu, it is not reaching the radio audience of any single American market. It is reaching a global streaming audience that spans every country in which those platforms operate. For every person in that global audience who encounters Jimin at the iHeartRadio Music Festival for the first time, who is watching for Cardi B or Snoop Dogg or Benson Boone and sees Jimin perform, the outcome of that first encounter is already predictable from the evidence. The Victoria's Secret model at the concert. The Filipino mother and daughter with the same answer. The Billboard reporter in Jimin watch mode. The whole world responds. Capital One cardholders will have priority access to presale tickets beginning Wednesday, June 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time through Friday, June 12th, while presale tickets last. Public on sale begins Friday, June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. While presale tickets last. That qualifier exists in every ticket announcement. In this specific case, given everything documented about the demand profile of BTS and Jimin at live events in 2026, it carries particular weight. The Arirang World Tour sold out stadiums. The AMA performance generated a Jimin watch moment from a Billboard journalist at the entrance. The CKJK collection sold out in 30 minutes and crashed the Calvin Klein website. The pattern of what happens to commercial availability when Jimin is attached to it is well established. The Capital One presale for iHeartRadio 2026 will not be a slow burn. Cardi B, Snoop Dogg. Jimin. September 18th, T-Mobile Arena. Las Vegas. McCartney to Mary J. Blige. Drake to deadmau5. Timberlake to Taylor. And now, in that same institutional sentence, representing the same thing, Jimin. The iHeartRadio Music Festival, in its 16th year, has looked at everything that popular music is in September 2026 and decided that this specific combination of names is what it looks like. That is not a small statement. That is the largest audio media company in America, across 150 radio markets, on Disney Plus and Hulu, telling the world who matters. And one of the names they chose is ParkJimin. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment telling me which iHeartRadio collaboration moment you are most hoping to see and subscribe if you have not already. See you in the next one.